and then the phone went dead. People resident at Cooper Island always listened to our phone calls and censored our letters back, coming in and going out. So I was afraid for him, but I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. It turned out as bad as it was. 2 days later, we got a phone call saying that he hung himself. He committed suicide. But I'd never, ever believed in my heart that he'd ever do that. They had them walk through the gym while Richard was still hanging and told them that it could happen to them.
My brother died because of a cattle prod, of a shock of a cattle prod. When he was 4 years old, they dragged him by the hair and they cut his skin right off his head. The pastors did that with a whip, like a horse whip. It was sharp, with these little blades on it. And when I was in there, I heard him scream for help. And right away, there was a lot of blood on the floor. They wouldn't take him to a hospital or the nurse or nothing. What happened then? When I was in there, I heard him still scream for help. Tortured me. I'm gonna die. So he died right away, like that. He was my only best friend and my only brother that I always loved.
What would be the final solution for you? What would relieve your mind or give you calm?
Well, when you're dealing with a crime this huge, there isn't any solution ultimately, because it's not as if something like this can be healed. It's like when you look at genocide being perpetrated on one group of people, it never stays confined to that one group. It always blows back on the people perpetrating it. And I often think about that when I look at what we're doing to the land and the environment. I mean, we destroyed people who had been living in harmony with the land for thousands, tens of thousands of years. And that can't help but affect us and the way that we live. But I think that something this huge, you can't just give an apology and a bit of money. It's an insult to people who have been sterilized and seen their friends murdered to think that that's going to solve anything. But what will begin to turn the tables on this is if the perpetrators are brought to justice and are able to say, yes, we did these crimes, yes, we did try to wipe you out. I often know, working with Native people who've been through these death camps called residential schools, for them, they never talk about money, they never talk about compensation. A lot of the Native politicians will talk about that. But the people on the ground, they keep saying over and over, I just want to face the people who did this to me. I want to tell them what I think about them, and I want them to admit what they did to me in front of the world.
Yeah, I think if they did that, they would just admit what they did to us is genocide.
And the government has never ever came up and acknowledged their mistake of the residential school. And to me that's totally wrong. And the churches are hiding behind the laws of man-made laws and not admitting their wrongs regarding residential school. And I feel that's cowardly.
Hello again, my name is Andy Radford here in the UK studio, and this is the Edge TV Broadcasts Thursday Reports. As you know, the Edge Thursday broadcast is a show for the listener and viewer. Now, if you want to submit some material, just contact us here at theedgeam.com. We can only use your stuff if you send it to us. The Thursday show is also a mechanism for Edge correspondents to broadcast their information. Now here is Edge correspondent Mike Eastwood's presentation on the political effects of global warming.
Hi all, I'm Mike Eastwood, reporter for the Edge News. I thought I would put a presentation together about global warming, as there is a lot of propaganda being spread about it. Hopefully, after you have heard this, you will be more informed and choose to do your own research on the subject and tell your friends. Of course, you won't hear much of this on the 6 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news. They want you to be oblivious to it, you see. They want you to think that global warming is just happening by chance and we're causing it. Because that is the agenda. To blame us and have us believe it. It will probably work with most people, and propaganda is aimed at most people. But there is always